So before I get into what I actually had prepared, Celia obviously started off with networking, and we had some good information as well from Get the Look. So I just wanted to make some points based on what we heard earlier this morning. So Celia had mentioned the purpose. One of the first slides she mentioned was about purpose, and this relates to networking. Why are you participating? Always a good question. What do you want to achieve? You should always have a goal in mind, whether that's a number figure, if you have a sales number, if you want to increase your new clients, if you want to grow your business, you have to have a purpose and a goal in what you want to achieve, because you don't know if you achieve your goal if you don't set one. And who do you want to talk to? So she was using those in relation to networking. Now I'm talking about social networking, so all those things apply. So I'm very thankful for Celia for giving me some points to start off with. So all those things apply when you're social networking. You don't just put a site up there and just leave it. And a lot of people think that, I'm going to get into Facebook, one of the largest social networking sites. But a lot of people think that, okay, yes, everyone's on Facebook nowadays. Yes, everyone has a website. But what is the goal of your website? Is it to inform? Is it to educate? Is it to entertain? You need to know what the purpose is. If it's about your business, are you going to just have up a website with your contact information and your services and price list? If you have a website, are you just going to, just put that there and the information doesn't change? Are you going to inform your customers about Christmas promotions, about the Girlfriends Expo? Are you going to do tips? Are you going to do, if you're into fashion, are you going to do a look of the week, how to achieve the latest trend? So you really need to know what your purpose is and what you want to achieve. Obviously, as business people, you all know about your client. You all know you have a product and you have a certain client in mind that you're trying to target. So that's important as well, because you want to address your message, whether it's, the banners, whether it's in person, online as well. It all should be the same message online. And you want to know, okay, who is it that I'm talking to? Because if I'm talking to a 13-year-old girl, it's completely different than if I'm talking to a middle-aged man. So you need to understand who you're talking to so you can address your message and tailor your message to that person. Okay, so social networking is the same, kind of as networking, but just doing it in an online platform. Okay, so it's about creating synergies. And how many of you guys here have access to the internet? Right, I thought everyone, right? So everyone's online, everyone globally is online. So you now have an opportunity not only to get the local market, but attract an international market. We are a tourist destination. Barbados is known for, tourism. So you're going to have people flying in. Now, people may not necessarily find you before they fly in, but when they fly in, they come to the Girlfriends Expo, they have family friends here. They're like, hey, Girlfriends Expo's coming up. I want to take you guys. They meet you, right? And they get a good impression of you. They're like, okay, well, you know what? I'm not really from here, but I still am interested in what you guys are doing. I still want to learn more because I come back 3-4 times a year. So how can I find you? You have to mention your website. You have to mention if you're on Facebook. You have to let these people know that short of calling you, which, if you're in the UK, who's going to call to ask a question? They want to be able to ask a question and get a response instantly. And that's what social networking is all about, that interaction with your customer. So what is social media? Everyone has an idea of what social media is? Anyone want to take a stab at giving me a little definition? I see some chuckles, some thoughts, some wheels spinning. No? No one wants to take a stab at it? They really are sure. Okay, no problem. All right. Okay, so I'll give you the answer, okay? So social media marketing refers to the process of gaining website traffic or attention through social media sites. Earlier today, we heard Facebook mentioned quite often, and that obviously is one of the most popular sites. There's also Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube is a social media network site, Instagram, etc. So you have a whole host of different social media sites. And I know it can be daunting and overwhelming when you sit down and you think about it, but you know what? I say pick one. If you're doing Facebook, you can link it to your Twitter account as well. But if you're a small business and it's just you, don't stress yourself out about everything. Pick one or two and do those one or two really well. So focus on those. So you don't have to, with so many things out there, you don't always have to choose everything, because then it gets overwhelming, you get stressed out, you forget to update that one, so that site is stale or the information there is old. So pick one or two and focus on those. So social media marketing programs usually center on an effort to create content that attracts attention and encourages readers and users to share it with their social networks. We're all girlfriends here. Well, we have some fellas in here as well, and I know you guys can identify as well. When we girls get together, we talk, we gab, and when we sit down, you start off socially, hey, how are you doing? Good. Oh my gosh, did you guys go to the Hennessy Artistry Show? Yeah, the bar was so packed, and I tried this new drink and whatever. So you start talking about products. You're networking and doing it on behalf of companies without realizing it. You know, we all talk about our experiences when we go shopping. You know, if you went to get the clothes for the Hennessy Artistry Show that just happened, you know, oh, where'd you get your shirt? Oh, I got it at this store. You're going to say, man, the girl there was good or bad or whatever, or they only had small sizes, so I had to settle for this shirt. So you really have to keep in mind that social networking online is the same thing. So you're not always doing a hard sell. You want to have a conversation, you want to interact, you want to be like girlfriends, sitting down, having a coffee, having a drink, and talking and sharing your stories. So yes, as a business, you are going to do that hard sell and say, you know, come and see my location if you're opening a new location, new product, new service, but you try and tailor it in a way that you can elicit response that persons want to interact with you and want to share it with their friends as well. And that's really what social networking is about. So you want to create information and do it in such a way that people want to talk about it. In my experience, I find that humor works. Everyone loves to laugh. Humor works really well. A lot of pop images and stuff like that works really well as well, and lifestyle stories. So the same thing I was saying, you know, you want to tailor your message in a way that people feel like they're sitting down grabbing a coffee with you. Don't mind it's behind a computer, but when they go online and they see people comment, they feel like they need to add their 2 cents and interact. And it's basically a conversation online. So you really want to think about that as well. Okay, so these are just some points for you to think about. And the more people repost and comment, they're adding credibility. I know we're going to talk about credibility coming up, but they're going to add credibility to your message. So when you see, you know, if I log on and I see Kim Tara and she's talking about something else and she talks about, oh, you know, I really love this new drink from wherever. I'm going to say, okay, well, it's not that drink company coming to me and says, oh, yes, we have the best drink. It's Kim Tara saying, oh, I tried this new drink. And if Kim Tara is my friend, she's giving me credibility. She's like, okay, well, Kim Tara tried this drink. I wonder what it tastes like. It's not something I would normally order, but maybe I'll try it. So it's giving credibility to your company, to your service. So you always want to be careful about the message that you put out there, okay? So it's become a platform that is easily accessible to everyone. Everyone in here raised their hand about the internet, with almost everyone having internet access. Increased communication for organizations foster brand awareness. That's one thing you want to get out there first. Brand awareness and often improve customer service. So those are the two things, because people want answers to their questions, whether good or bad, and they want a response. And if I feel I'm being ignored, well, guess what? I don't want to do business with you anymore. Going back to what we heard earlier, you know, if you're going to a booth and the person's there on the phone or, you know, in the paper or turns their back, you're being ignored. The same thing happens online as well. So usually you try and get back and respond, even if it's just to say, you know what, we see your concern, we see your question, we'll investigate and get back to you. So even if the answer takes a little longer, you should always respond within 24 hours, I would say, always within 24 hours, at least to say, we see your question and we're investigating the matter for you, and we'll come back with an answer. So always try to give a response within the first 24 hours, and then, you know, you can go investigate whatever the person brings back to you. Okay, so they allow individuals to interact with one another and also build relationships with individuals as well as with your business. So we're talking about social networking sites and blogs, which allow individuals and followers to retweet all of you who are on Twitter, or repost comments made by the product being promoted. So like I said, by repeating the message, users are able to kind of share and do this word of mouth thing, but it's obviously online, a word of mouth. Okay, so information about the product. So I'm just going to mention some of the social media websites. So obviously the most popular being Facebook. You have Twitter, you have Google+, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube. You have cell phones. Cell phones, you know, they're always a way to communicate on cell phones, whether you're BBM, whether you're on WhatsApp and broadcast a message. Cell phones are also a good tool, as well as eBlast. Kim Tara just mentioned Creative Impressions Barbados, who will do the eBlast for you. So don't just think, okay, I'm going to do the eBlast and I'm going to send it to 10,000 people, and 10,000 people are going to like my poster, right? You do the eBlast, you think about what it is you want to say, who you're talking to, are you going to link it? You should always link a flyer so people can follow more information. If you have a website, make sure you link it. If you have your Facebook page, make sure you link it. So always, you know, it's like opening a store. When you create a Facebook page, you just don't leave it there. You know, when you open a store, you just don't open the store. Yes, you'll get some foot traffic that will walk by and pop in, but you want to make noise, right? So when you do a Facebook page, when you create a Facebook page, you want to say, here's my flyer. I'm going to be at the Girlfriends Expo come February 2nd and 3rd, 2013. But in the meantime, check me out on Facebook. After the expo, check out the pictures on Facebook, check out this on Facebook. We have great deals on Facebook. Make sure you stay in touch with them via Facebook. And I'm speaking about Facebook because I'm going to tell you why Facebook is important. Okay, so there are an estimated 119,000 people living in Barbados with Facebook. This is based on Facebook's analytics. Of those, you have 53,000 that are male and 65,000 that are female. Now, I know a lot of you, we are at the Girlfriends Expo, so we're looking at females. Most of the time, but it's really good to know who is there and who you're talking to so you can, like I said, tailor your message to them. Okay, so Facebook internationally has more than 900 million active monthly users. So where else are you going to go on something, social media? Facebook is free. Where else can you go for free and get the potential of 900 million pairs of eyes looking at your message? So it's a very good tool. Like I said, it's free to set up. There are certain apps and things that we'll get into that do cost money. It's like an advertisement. But being on Facebook, starting a page, easy, free. You have a website, you have an email address, you can get a Facebook account. So Facebook is important because it's one of the top social media networking sites in terms of total users and traffic. Facebook presents a unique marketing opportunity for businesses through the creation of Facebook business pages. There are different levels of pages. I won't get into it, but there are different levels. I have a Facebook page, but Girlfriends Expo will have a different page. We mentioned the community page where you can go on and you can interact. So there are different types of pages. So you need to understand, okay, am I doing just a business page? Do I want a community page? Do I want to network? So you really have to think about that. So as more people explore social media, social networking sites have become some of the key online sources they use to learn more about the product. Okay, so you're having organizations, artists, musicians, painters, artists are on Facebook, world events are on Facebook. So they're really going to Facebook more and more to learn about your business and learn what's happening in the world. So marketing on Facebook has a viral effect. Information spreads through networks exponentially. So that goes back to Kim Tara mentions a drink. I try it out. I may go back on Facebook and say, yeah, Kim Tara, that drink was fantastic. I'm going to have it at my party. I have a party. I bring my girlfriends over. They try the drink, and then they go on Facebook and mention it as well. Great party, Caroline. That drink you served was excellent. So you see how it becomes viral, and it just spreads and spreads and spreads. Okay, so these are the points that I want you guys to really think about. I have 6 points here. So benefits of using Facebook. Customer interaction. Now, to gain a customer to walk through your door is very, very hard, as you guys know. To come through your door is hard. People have to think, okay, where is it? Where are you located? Where to park? Am I coming through? Now, Facebook allows you to interact with those customers with relative ease. They no longer have to call, pick up the phone. They no longer have to come and see you. So customer interaction, it provides a forum for dialogue between customers and the brand, giving companies the opportunity to build better relationships with target audience and potential customers. So it's an opportunity for you when a person asks a question, they have shown interest. It's now your opportunity to turn that interest into a potential client, a sale, a service, a long-standing customer. If you're doing a service, you want that person to come back and come back and come back. So whether it's a negative comment, don't ignore it. Negative comments, you can turn it into a positive. Oh, I went to this so-and-so store. I had such a bad experience. I will never go there again. We mentioned it. Ask the question, well, why did you have a bad experience? What was it that was so negative? Well, the salesperson ignored me and I was really looking for whatever the case is, right? You say, okay, you know what? We apologize. You apologize to the customer, say we're sorry for the bad service. We'll definitely work on training our staff better. Thank you for the feedback, because that feedback is going to make us better at what we do, and we'd like to offer you a 5% discount on your next visit. So you turn that negative comment, instead of leaving it out there for the world to see, you respond to it so the world can see as well, and say, you know what? We are people who understand that we are not perfect, and we will try our best to please the customer. And if you had a negative experience, we want to hear about it, because we will definitely work better to make you guys happy. So customer interaction, negative or positive, is always a good thing. Reputation management. So Facebook allows a company to gain a deeper understanding of how the brand is perceived online through direct feedback, again, customers coming to your page and commenting, and also by monitoring what users are saying about the brand. So you're going to get a feedback. You can even just throw out a question. One of my clients yesterday, I just threw out a question. It's Christmas time. What would you love from this company in your stocking stuffer? What would you love from us? It's Christmas. What would you like to find Christmas morning? People responded. They said everything. So now I have a chance to say, okay, well, people are interested in watches. Okay, well, the ladies are looking more for earrings. So now I can tailor my message on Facebook to what the customers have said that they're interested in. so you can be more specific. Just throw out a question, and again, it's a conversation. Just don't say, so what products do you like from our store? Make it a conversation. What do you want for Christmas? Everyone has a Christmas list. What do you want for Christmas? And make it that way so it's a conversation, and you're not doing a hard sell. And then the customer will tell you what they're looking for. Okay, so new customer acquisition. Like I said, people are not necessarily going to walk into your store by passing it, but it's a chance to get a new customer. So each time a Facebook user becomes a fan of a Facebook page, a notice is posted as news items for all of that user's friends to see. So Kim Tara, she likes the Girlfriends Expo. We're all friends with Kim Tara. Maybe we don't know about the Girlfriends Expo, but we all see Kim Tara has liked the Girlfriends Expo. Then I go and I say, okay, well, what's this Girlfriends Expo about? I click on the page, I find out more about the information. I said, well, this is definitely a community I want to be a part of. I like the page, and by liking the page, I'm going to get all the information. So I'm going to get specials, if they're ticket sales, box offices, change of venue, change of date, any information, I'm going to get it because I've said that I am a fan of the Girlfriends Expo and I want information on that. Okay? So number 4, a feedback mechanism. In a service-based sector like hospitality, customer feedback, it is vital, as our Body Haven person would know. Service feedback is always vital. So Facebook allows users to communicate their experiences directly and give the company an opportunity to respond. Okay, so we mentioned that earlier. Branding. Facebook can be used as a medium for creating brand awareness in addition to a company's corporate website. So once you have a website, you may not update your website daily. Some people, just based on the business that you have, it doesn't lend itself to daily interaction. So you have your website there, you have your products, your services, you have a list of who you're working with, who you're working for, who works for you, etc. But Facebook now gives you that daily interaction. And what you can do, you can say, for a full list of all our products and services, visit our website. To find out who's going to be taking care of you when you come to our restaurant, visit our website to see our staff, our friendly staff. So you use Facebook as a tool to drive traffic to if you have a corporate website as well. I know some of the smaller businesses, they don't have the corporate website, they have the Facebook, but you can still do that as well. Post pictures, as you all know, you can post videos, you can do all sorts of things on Facebook, okay? And 6, drive web traffic. So as Facebook page grows its fan base, traffic to your company website can definitely increase. Facebook pages also appear in universal search results. So I don't know how many of you guys still use the actual phone book. 2 people. 3, 4. I don't have a phone book. It's a waste of time, in my opinion. I mean, it's good to have, but I go online. I have my phone. I'm driving. I go online, and I go go to Yellow Pages, and I find businesses. And I find more and more people are doing that. So they're going to Google search your company. They hear a name. They're like, okay, crap, I didn't take a card, or I forgot the number. You know what? I'm going to go online. I guess my behavior has changed over the years based on, I guess, what I do. I no longer think of the phone book as a first stop for looking for a business. We're in a world now where we want things instantly, we want things fast, we want things quick. So as opposed to doing that, I guess because I work online all day, I'm in front of a computer. To me, picking up the phone is too far. It's, okay, Google, okay, I want to find out Girlfriends Expo. What were those dates again? I'm going to Google Girlfriends Expo. I'm going to click on it, and say, okay, right, February 2nd and 3rd. So it becomes, a lot of businesses don't have a website, which is true. But think of it as a free tool. Okay, to join Facebook is free. There are different things you can do. You can do apps, you can do ads, which do cost money. But the good thing about Facebook, it allows you to set your budget. So for businesses who are small businesses and who have a small advertising budget, you can set your budget. If you want to do, for the Girlfriends Expo coming up, you only want to do a week advertising. You can say, okay, I want this date to that date, and I only want to spend $10 a day. So off the bat, okay, well, during that week, I'm going to spend $10 a day for 7 days, so my budget is $70 US. Facebook does things in US. So that's $70 US. So you can tailor your budget to what your needs are, and you can do that. So the good thing about Facebook, like I said, I think everyone here today, as part of the takeaway, should at least go onto Facebook and create a page. With that in mind, people want interaction. So if you don't think you can manage it, maybe call someone, a friend, one of your workers, or whatever the case is, to kind of manage it, because people want interaction, they want updates, they want daily information. If I ask a question, I want to be able to get an answer as soon as possible. Make sure your message, whatever platform you're using, whether it is through BlackBerry Messenger, your website, online, make sure that your staff is aware of that message as well. If you're doing a Facebook promotion and you're like, okay, come to the Girlfriends Expo, get 5% off just by visiting us. Any purchase made at the Girlfriends Expo. Make sure your staff is aware. Because I post that now, and I don't tell my staff, and then I come here, or I call your company, and I say, okay, so this 5%, is it on shirts? Is it on pants? Or is it, so they want to know. So make sure your staff is fully aware so you have an understanding, first of all, of what your promotion, sale, message is, and make sure your staff and those around you who are working within your company are aware of it as well, so that it doesn't add confusion. It's a good tool for your staff as well to use. I don't know how many of you guys are, yeah?
One thing that I've noticed about Facebook pages, and that's that's a pet peeve with mine, is that people aren't really trained on Facebook pages, and I want to encourage you, if you're going to set up a Facebook page, to learn how to do it properly. For example, setting it so that seeing the post from others is not direct. So sometimes you think, they have deleted my post, what did they do? It's not on the website, and you're getting all upset. Some Facebook pages even block posts from others, and I'm not even sure why you have a Facebook, which is social media, like talking, presence, if you're not allowing people to post on your page. If whoever's responsible for the Facebook page doesn't know how to use it, or you are not really comfortable, then I would suggest learn first, because you're going to mess yourself up.
Or you could call that number right there.
Or you could call.
I mean, that's what we're here for, right? Yes.
Just to comment on what you were saying, sometimes you don't want to have
basically
control
company's message.
over what people post.
Yeah.
Right.
And so people think your message is lost. It's like, no, it was a message I don't want the world to see. Like, I came to your store and your staff is crap. So you set up your settings so that you can approve or disapprove.
A lot of companies
automatically come on your page.
I recall there was a promotion I was doing with car oil, engine oil, and I was not permitted to use where it was sold because the gas station wasn't on Facebook and didn't want to be on Facebook, didn't even want to be mentioned on Facebook. I'm not sure why that was. It was just something that came down from corporate. So they obviously had a meeting and said, okay, well, you know what, we're not interested in that. So sometimes you're going to get some sites that do kind of limit interaction, and that's based on a corporate message or a corporate decision that's done. I know a lot of us in here are small businesses, so we kind of have a control of our own Facebook pages and our own decision-making process. So I do encourage to allow the interaction. Like Ebony said, sometimes though, like I mentioned before, a negative comment, turn it into positive. Because if you delete my comment, I'm going to be upset with you. I'm going to say I'm ignored. I'm going to go on my own page and say, this company is crap. I made a negative comment. They didn't get back to me. Don't shop there ever again. And that's me as a customer as well. Yeah.
Every time I go on Facebook, every single time, I see Fire Friendell.
Yep.
Every time.
Every
I
single
brought
time.
up a woman from New York to do a presentation in a room like this. She's got her Facebook page up. Even though she's from New York, because she's in Barbados, big sign, Fire Friendell.
Yeah.
I have not seen one Facebook from the DLP.
Yeah.
Not one. You have to know what your competitor is doing, and you have to pay for those, by the way. Those
you do have to pay for
ads
those,
on Facebook that keep coming up. And so...
And you target, Facebook allows you then, because obviously as I create a Facebook account as a user, as a person, I put in my name, I say I'm in Barbados, I'm a female, age X, Y, and Z, 29, I don't really care. So, you put in that information, and as users, as a business now, because Facebook already has that information and IP addresses that are in Barbados, you can then tell Facebook, okay, well, you know what? My company is small. I don't want to spend money advertising to someone in the UK who may not come. I'm going to say, okay, I only want people in Barbados. So you click only in Barbados. Then I say, okay, well, I'm only for females. So you click only females, right? So Facebook does allow you to do that. They are spending a lot of money because when you do an ad, Facebook does charge you. And every time you see, I think Scotiabank did a while ago. So you see Scotiabank there. Scotiabank has paid Facebook for that. Okay, so, and they tell you, and Facebook is really good. They've realized in the last few years, recognized that companies are using it. So they got smart, and they say, yeah, you're using our medium to advertise. Well, guess what? You're going to pay us, and they do analytics for you, so you can definitely track where money's going. You can track how many people you've attracted by that spend. And as you guys know, cost per customer, attaining a customer, that cost is hard to measure in actuality. But online, you can see it, and they do a whole chart for you and a graph for you. So I just want to mention a couple other things. So based on the prizes and draws, so if you're doing a prize or a draw at your event, make sure if you have a Facebook page, if you have a website, that all your materials have your web addresses on it. Make sure your T-shirts in the front, I'm a firm believer in a T-shirt. I love a T-shirt, especially for events. They look really nice. And when you have your staff in the same shirt, it's a really uniform look and it looks nice. Company name in the front, web address, Facebook address, number, everything in the back, okay? So you want to, it's like opening a store, like I said. If you open a store, you just don't open the store and hope that people come. You need to publicize it and make noise that you're on Facebook and that you're going to do stuff on Facebook. You know, you can do Facebook promotions that are only for Facebook users. I had a client who did one and who's actually going to do one for Christmas, you know, like us on Facebook and win a meal. You know, so you can do Facebook only promotions if your goal is to first increase your users, and then from there you can then do other promotions where it's like, okay, enter on Facebook, but have the proof of purchase in hand. Take a picture of us with our products. So there are a lot of things that you can do that gets interaction and gets makes things viral.
In terms of social media management, there are times where you can let social media work for you. I use it, Kim Tara uses it, Hootsuite. You guys have heard of Hootsuite, right? Or TweetDeck. So you're out doing business, but Hootsuite is working for you. So you might just want to use that as a platform to share information, share inspiration. So you would kind of schedule when you want this information to go out, whether it is every morning at 8:30, during lunchtime, or at night. So you figure, all right, when I'm not at the computer, this is the type of information that I would
Facebook
like to
allows you to do that now, actually, too.
Right? So Hootsuite.com.
Yeah. She was having a conversation with Celia, and they do a lot of mobile apps. You were mentioning online content. They'll set up a website, web design. Do you manage content as well, or is just
yes, we do. We do social media management as well.
Right. So Conk is also a very good person to mention.
What I wanted to say was that when you mentioned the scheduling, what I find is that there's a lot going on your page. So you may schedule, for example, you may plan that this week you're going to be talking about cakes. If you're a cake company, you may be talking about your cupcakes that particular week, just cupcakes. So you schedule your post for cupcakes, but then you may find that on your page itself, the conversation may not be going towards your cupcakes.
Right.
So scheduling your posts may actually disrupt the flow of the conversation if you're using your page as a medium to interact with your, sorry.
No, but this is where management and don't just schedule a post and then don't ever look at it.
It works, right? But if you're using, what I find that if you're using your page as a way to communicate with your customers, you may want to, if you're scheduling, you may want to keep checking your page to make sure that the conversation flows rather than it just being a computerized thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So again, there has to be balance.
Yeah.
Right. Where you're gonna say every morning, I like to send out some inspiration. Right. If you comment, I go away, come back, I'm gonna respond.
Precisely.
And then you can say, you know what? Today I'm on the computer. I want to now interact. So I'm gonna post stuff so people can start communicating with me. So you have to create what your purpose is for your social media and decide how you want that management to work for you.
You do schedule posts, and it does make things easier if you have a plan. Again, this comes back to a marketing plan with your team. So you need to make sure that your company is aware. So if for a day you're doing a special for today only, for Thursday only, you need to make sure your staff knows. So that is something that you can schedule because you know as a company that's what we're going to do. Right? So you can schedule things along those lines where it's specifically for this day for a purpose, and then you still go back and you check. So if you're doing chicken wraps, and someone comments, why not veg wraps? I'm a vegetarian, I don't eat chicken. You go back and you say, well, you know what? Stay tuned, that might happen next week. Keep on to our Facebook page because we'll be doing more specials, so you got to look out for it. So those are the ways that you do schedule, but you monitor and you manage as well.
Just a really quick point, scheduled posts can be unscheduled.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be stressed out that they're going to just go for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. You can go back and then
Approve it,
let
yeah.
you know and change it.
Yeah. So once you have a scheduled post, like if you do a whole week, and then something happens, you can actually just go back and delete it. So it's nothing's permanent. So you could go back and delete it, or change the time, or change the date. So if you're you know you say, okay, well shoot, forgot I have early closing hours, so I can't put that post at that time. So you go back and you change the date or you change the time. Yeah, Ebony, you had another.
Sometimes there might not be a lot going on with your company. If you do events and you do 2 events for the whole year, there's a lull of months. You still want to keep your brand out there, you still want a conversation going. And so one of the things that we do from time to time that I see other people doing is just posting a positive message on your site. It doesn't really have anything to do with your company.
Have a fantastic weekend.
But even more than that, maybe something from my end too, even a poem, something that people are going to share. And then you have the name of your company and your company's logo, which they will then pass around and they will associate that good feeling with you. You can also show yourself at different events and other things that you are supporting, and pictures, cool pictures of other people even wearing your t-shirts, just anything that just keeps you out there so you're not just dormant and people go to your Facebook page and the last post was 2010.
Right, I must say, in response to that, Ebony, we had a press conference Tuesday. It was Tuesday evening. By the time I drove home, thank you guys all so much for coming. Here's some photos. Even if you don't post all the photos, do a little teaser. Here are 2 photos from our event tonight. Stay tuned because tomorrow the full gallery will be up. People love, I don't care what people say, people love photos. Yeah.
I had a photographer take a picture of me at the podium. I posted it on Facebook, countdown.
Press conference. Right. So you can definitely use it to your advantage. And the way that the world is nowadays, not so much Barrios. I find Barrios is hard sometimes in terms of finding Wi-Fi hotspots. But the way the world is, we're at a conference center. They have to have Wi-Fi. Let's hopefully. They should have Wi-Fi. I'm not sure as yet, but they should. Most business places should. I mean, we live in a society that sometimes things make sense to us, but not necessarily to the people that we're talking to. So you should have Wi-Fi. So like Ebony said, you can do things on the go, And going back to what we were talking about in terms of posts, it's like I said, it's a conversation. So you don't always do a hard sell. You don't always say my product, my service, my service, my service. Hey, it's Independence. What are your plans for this Independence weekend? Picnics. What are some of the things you localize it to? Okay, so you want people to realize that you are on the ground, you're listening, and you're aware of what's happening. Christmas. What are your favorite Christmas thing? Are you a ham person? Jug. You localize it and you make it, interactive. So you may not necessarily be talking about clothes, but you're talking about food. You're like, oh, I don't know about you guys. After the Christmas break, I need to go up a pant size. You kind of make it humorous. Right. We have sizes small to, so you kind of, you make the message not necessarily always a hard sell because that works sometimes, okay? And you are using it as a marketing tool. You are a business. Your aim is to get customers, get clients, get business, and make long-lasting impressions. I'm going to use Celia's word, connections. It's a way to connect with people, with your customers. Negative feedback, positive feedback, and you create this long-lasting relationship where people feel important. And as a person who goes places, I know that I have a certain restaurant I go to and I eat by myself in Barbados because, no one does that. But I go there and I feel comfortable, the staff is friendly, and I will definitely go back there because I have that connection. And you try to create those same connections online and personalize it. I also encourage persons to use strategic partners. Going back to what you mentioned, not only knowing who's right to you and left to you, but around you. So you create partners. Celia mentioned this story about where she was at one customer at one place, and the person didn't have the solution she was looking for, and that person took them to another person. Create those connections. Share information, because if Kimtara shares my information, why wouldn't I go and share Kimtara's information? So you create those networks online as well. So whether it's your website where you're saying, okay, hey guys, I'm so-and-so, whatever, but also who's doing this, you talked about clothing, right? So you have clothes, but check out so-and-so, she has the perfect shoes to go with this Easter dress, this Christmas dress. So you make those connections online as well. So it's the same thing as making connections in person. You make them online and you kind of definitely grow your community that way. Because persons who are looking for dress, yeah, you're going to look for shoes as well, right? You may not have shoes, but persons who are looking for shoes, vice versa, they're going to look for the dress, and then they're going to come to you. So you make those connections online. You have the e-paper that archives information. I know, I see you guys all over as well. So a lot of people are doing things. A lot of people are doing things electronically nowadays. So I just encourage people, like we mentioned, if you're not fully aware, like I said, you don't have to do everything. Okay, let's face it. Sometimes we're the only people doing business. You cannot lose focus of what makes money for you. Okay, this is a tool to help you, to assist you. Okay, so don't let it bog you down. Don't let it intimidate you. And it is a learning process. Okay, so it is a learning process. You're going to find out what works for you, what works for your customers, what works for your fans, your community, and you're going to find out what works for your product or service. Not everything is going to work for everyone. Life is a cruel teacher. Okay, it tests you first, and then you learn the lesson after. Okay, so it's a lot of trial and error sometimes to figure out what works. As I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of different pages that you could have on Facebook. You could have a personal page. You know, you could find me on Facebook, personal page. You could find companies on Facebook as well, and then you have your groups. So you really need to understand what it is you're trying to do and what you're trying to communicate so that you can pick the right page first of all. That's the first step, picking the right page for you. You know, you can then when you go and create your page, there's a drop down which says category. Clothing, restaurant, service, a whole list of categories, and you can definitely pick the correct category because then it helps you and your business and your clients find you. So if you're a restaurant and you accidentally click clothing, guess what? I'm searching for restaurants. I'm not going to find you because I'm looking for restaurants. So just be mindful of those things and definitely, you know, use the e-blast service to broadcast your information and use some of the other sponsors who are definitely going to help you broadcast the fact that you're going to be at Girlfriends Expo, and use this as an opportunity to, yes, you have the Girlfriends Expo February 2nd and 3rd, but after that, you know, we're planning for the Girlfriends Expo, but after that, what are you going to do? Keep the message going. Ebony said it, you know, Girlfriends Expo once a year. Are you going to be dead the other 11 months of the year? What are you going to do? Think about it. So use the opportunity when people come to you. They may not buy from you right away. You may make an impression on them. You know, you have your shirt with your logo. You have the information at the back. People may not necessarily take a card or take your information, but they will remember it. Oh, what was the name of that company? Search it on Facebook, and they want to see what you're up to. And they may ask questions and stuff like that. So make sure that you continue to grow your community that way, online as well as in person.
Social media, though, Caroline, it has, as you full well know, it has a lot to do with demographics.
Yes.
Because I would say like from 35 down, those people are like high with IT.
Right.
And maybe some 40s and 50s too.
My dad's 75. He's on Facebook. He doesn't know what to do with it.
Demographics. So just bear that in mind.
Yeah, and Facebook does break it down for you. Facebook does break it down for you. There are more females on Facebook, just internationally. More females are on Facebook. Technology as it is, as what it is, it's a younger person's medium. I don't want to say what age, but you know, my dad, he's like, what's this Facebook thing? I keep getting messages. I put him on Facebook. The first message he gets is a half-naked girl. I don't know what to tell my dad. I didn't know what to say. Then he's like, what do I do with this? I said nothing. You know? So you gotta beware. It is something that, and even though you may put something out there, as you would experience in the news, you know, news is one of the biggest things that's on Facebook that when you get it wrong, it's major. Okay, you can delete a post, but you know what? If I screen capture that, I'm going to tell all my friends. I'm going to share it. That's going to go viral. And we've seen it a lot with some of the U.S. companies, news agencies, who tweet things before they get confirmation. So if you're in a business where your credibility is important, make sure you follow up and you follow through. Most recently, one would have been the Hurricane Sandy. That happened. Clothing company, the Twitter account was managed by an international company, so they weren't there. No, it was the Colombo, Ohio thing, the shooting that happened, and a clothing company had a dress by the name of Ohio, whatever it was, and the company that was managing their Twitter account overseas saw this trending on Twitter, and they thought it was the dress, and they went in and said, oh, Kim Kardashian, Ohio, whatever, not realizing that an incident had taken place. So they had to issue apologies, and then the company, obviously it's not the management company, the clothing company's name is what's attached to it. So if you're getting someone to do your Facebook page to assist you, make sure they are clear on your message, make sure you have an understanding. And a lot of that is going to be the first few weeks of working really closely with the person, so that they understand your business and you understand what they're doing. Because if someone posts something on behalf of Body Haven, guess what? I don't know it's Kim Tara posting it. I'm thinking Body Haven. Well, Body Haven is very insensitive. They'll never get my business. So you need to make sure if you are doing something like that and you are having someone assist you, that, again, this comes back to the message. Make sure that they're clear on what your company represents, what your message is, and what it is you're doing, okay? So that's just another aside to that, especially being in the news and whatnot.
I just want to add one more comment in regards to social media, where, you know, you're new to social media, you're learning about it, you're using it. Don't lose confidence, because a lot of us are like, oh, nobody is liking my page, nobody is commenting on my page. Don't lose confidence. You know what your purpose is. Just keep sharing that message, and eventually people are going to flock. And you need to encourage people in your network, families, cousins, whoever is on Facebook, to spread the word. And you might not give them a little massage once in a while. Right? But the idea is, I need you to help me push my business, and here's something that I can give to you, right? So know that you can rely on your networks to help push your business, and don't stop. So today you got 5 likes, and next year you get another 10 more. So what? Just continue to do what you do. You know what your purpose is, and keep spreading the message, and people will come on board.
And just because you have 10,000 fans, don't expect 10,000 comments a day. Of those 10,000, and I know we're all guilty. How many of here are actually on Facebook, personal pages? Personal pages? What about business pages? Okay, so we're aware, right? So even as a personal user, I'm not going to like every single thing. I may Kintara as my friend. I'm not going to be on her page every single day. So of the 10,000 people you have on your page, only maybe 500 people are actually going to come in and actually see. Of those 500, you only get a fraction of those who are going to like. And then of those who actually like, a fraction of those are going to take it a step further and comment. Okay, so don't get discouraged. You know, people are seeing your message. It goes back to what we're saying, get the luck and the networking. People see you out. People recognize who you are. So even though they may not talk to you when they see you out, they know who you are and how you conduct yourself. They're seeing it. They may not always like it or dislike it, but they're seeing it. So it's the same thing with social networking and your websites and whatever you do online. People may not offer you feedback right then and there, but keep in mind that they're seeing it. Okay, so you just definitely keep it going. People are paying attention. They may not always interact with you, but like it is in society as well, people may not interact with you, but they're seeing you out and they're seeing what you're doing, seeing who you're talking to, seeing how you're dressed. And we've all been guilty of it. You know, when you're talking about dress, I said, you know, in the last year, I've had to redo my whole wardrobe, okay? I'm a jeans, cut-up jeans, T-shirt, tank top kind of girl. But, you know, the most embarrassing thing, I was in the supermarket, cut-up jeans, tank top, and walked one of my clients. I was like, crap. You know, like, yeah, so I try to hold the cart in front of me. I'm like, yeah, everything's good. So, you know, you got to be aware. Even though you're doing things, you never know who's paying attention, okay? And that's the thing that, not just socially, not just online as well, but, I mean, people are always paying attention. So always be aware of your company. If you are self-employed as well, especially if you're self-employed, be aware of your company and the image that you present online and in person.